know they'll love, Edward Johnson. Sit back and relax while we give you advice and tips on business matters and matters of the heart for busy executives. And now, Katrina and Edward. Hello. This is Katrina Brittingham. As you can tell, I'm by my lonesome. This is the first show of our sixth season. I cannot believe it has been 6 seasons of the show, but we are going to continue on. I know that many of you have taken your vacations. I took mine and back and refresh. Um, Many of you have children who have started school recently. So the summer is officially over and we are in the fall. We are also in the midst of a recession. So, in considering the topic that I was going to do, I actually switched the topic to cost saving methods for small business owners. And also for those who are not business owners, this could help you too. We're going through a time where everything has gone up, food prices, everything. I just did my grocery bill and was like, oh my gosh, it's more expensive now than it was the last time I even ordered groceries. So we need to consider some ways to cut some costs to save some money. As a small business, even as a household, it's very important to have managed that. So one of the things that you can do is number one, you can go paperless. If you are not paperless already, I know many people are. I have been paperless for a while, but I have experienced where people are not paperless. People are not paying their bills and things online, which saves stamps, it saves envelopes, it saves letters, it saves checks, and is very cost effective because you're not spending that money, and you will be surprised how much money you are spending with that. So even if you're a business and you have printing costs, if you go virtual and have electronic flyers and things like that, you can send them out via email on your social media, which is like free marketing and publicity that can help you um, save time and money in your business. Using a 0% credit card balance transfer. If you're a small business and even if you're an individual, if you can get a credit card with a 0% transfer, you can transfer debt from one card to a card that has a 0% transfer and a lower finance fee. It will save you money when you go to pay your balance down. Look for cards that have a 0% intro APR. That could save you some money because credit cards can be 17% APR and higher. So these are some ways that you can save some money. Number three is you can lease equipment instead of making the overall purchase. You can save some time in leasing equipment. You can do this as a small business. You can do this as an individual as well. Getting into a lease will save you that huge out of pocket expense, and you can pay it over time in a smaller payment that you might be able to afford. Also, you can save a lot of money on repairs because while it's under a lease, it will be covered under the lease agreement. So that could save you money over time. Um, if you're a business, you can try collecting some cash in advance. This is extremely helpful for those who um, may do a payment plan for services. Getting 25% down up front can help you get some income in immediately when it comes to getting payments from your people. So if you get 30% down, you have that money that is workable in your business as expense while you're waiting for the other payments in the payment cycle to take place. Okay. You can also ask for discounts. I do pretty much anywhere. I ask if there's a discount on something because you never know. You don't know until you ask. Sometimes there are hidden discounts that people will not necessarily tell you up front, but if you ask for it, um, it may be there or it might just be something that they can do. I learned that a while ago from a colleague of mine. Um, that everywhere they would go in, they would ask for a discount. I'm like, why are you asking for a discount? It's like, because you never know if they will extend it. The worst thing they can say is no. So try to see if you can work with your suppliers to see if you can get a discount on some services, depending on certain terms, depending on what you're doing. If this is a supplier that you deal regularly with, they may be able to give you a discount. If you say you pay week to week, if you go on a monthly plan, that could be some savings for you um, by lumping the services together, if that is at all feasible for your business. So you can get the same type of service and have the service for a month and have a discount, or if you're already in a month, to see if you can do a 3 month plan or a 6 month plan that will give you an overall discount and you still get the same services. So, number six is that you can switch banks. So, different banks have different rates that they have different fees. So, you can switch over to another bank who has a better fee because some banks will charge you a monthly fee just for having your money. And then you have some banks that will not if you have a certain amount in your bank account. If you go to a credit union, they may not charge you to have money in your account every month. Also, if there are any other types of fees that come along with having a bank account with a bank, you might be able to erase those fees altogether. Some have a um, a way for you to not have to pay the ATM fee with the bank because they started this a while ago where if you go to the ATM may charge you a fee. But some banks charge you a fee too. So you're getting two fees. You're getting a fee from that ATM company or that bank that you're using if it's not your bank, and you're also getting another fee from your actual bank to take your money out of the bank. So you have other banks that will not charge you that ATM fee, or they'll charge you after a certain amount of ATM fees. If you are with a credit union, they have other sister branches where the ATM fee is waived altogether, even when you're taking your money out. So this could save you money. If you are someone who goes to the bank a good amount of times with your business and even personally, that one, two, $3 can add up significantly for the money that's coming out. And I've been places where the ATM fee was $5 or more. So um, so that's something to consider. And if you're getting that $5 fee plus whatever fee your bank is charging you, that can be upwards of $10 just to take out the money that you're taking out of the bank. I know for me, like if I go to a place and they have a fee, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to take out amount where this is, it's worth me taking out this money. So I end up taking out more money than I actually really wanted to take out because of the fact that there's a fee. So if they have a $2 fee, I'm going to take out enough money where that $2 fee is worth it. Um, so I don't know if anybody else is like that, but don't be like me. I see I'm still a work in progress. Don't be like me and take out more than what you need to take out just because it's a fee. Try to avoid that fee altogether. What you want to do also is consider having services bundled. So some companies offer phone service, cable, internet, fax, web hosting, um, the phone service that they have, all in one package, and you end up paying less money because it's bundled together, than having those services individually. So you can consider doing that. I know that I did have my internet and web hosting all through the same company at one point before I moved, and everything like that, because it was more cost effective, and everything like that. So that could save you hundreds of dollars a year, depending on the package that you have, and it might save you a little bit more. If you are an employer, one of the things that could save you money, in expenses, is to have a debit card payment system with your payroll. So instead of mailing out checks and printing checks and things like that, and paying for postage, paying for the printer to print out the checks and things like that, you can send your employee a payroll debit card. And so the money is electronically sent to them. Many companies do have direct deposit, but a lot of smaller companies may not have that set up, because that might be costly to go to through a system, payrolling system. But if you do the debit cards, then it is a major benefit, because it helps lower the risk of fraud when it comes to using your checks. People have creative ways of taking your checks, and not be an employee and cashing checks for you. So it limits that. Um, so you can, do that. It also helps limit fraud, because this person is using a debit account. So they would have to put in a PIN or something to use their card. Number nine is that you want to manage employee spending. So if you have a corporate card, in which you have employees use for expenses, you want to monitor misuse or abuse of those company issued credit cards among employees, at every level, who has the responsibility of having that credit card, by setting guidelines, setting preset limits on your cards, having alerts that will come in through the email, or your cell phone, to monitor the monthly expenses, because you would be surprised how many costly mistakes there are. You would also be surprised, what someone is spending on, that may not necessarily be a necessary business expense. So that is something that you want to take a look at and monitor. You want to be able to offer people electronic invoices instead of paper invoices. If you do not have an e-invoicing system, and I say this because there are a lot of um, companies, especially small businesses that I worked with, who do not actually have an electronic invoicing system. This allows you to email people directly, sometimes even send a text notification that they have an invoice that's coming in for them to pay. So again, it goes down to reducing your printing costs and your postage costs for sending these invoices out. So whether you are a startup or an existing business, it is important that this in this economic environment, where everything is going up, costs, supplier costs, and everything like that, even shipping is going up, to look for ways to decrease your expenses so you can have some cost savings. If you put these things in place, it can actually help you, so you don't necessarily have to lay off an employee. Sometimes that is necessary, but before you do that, it is a good opportunity for you to save money, so you can keep valued employees and keeping the workload balanced. Because many, small employers, many entrepreneurs, who are using employees, if that worker goes away, then this is work that you will have to pick up on your own. So that is something that you want to consider when it comes to that. You can also take a look at vendors to see if there is someone who provides the same level of service or maybe even better service for a more reasonable price. You want to look at any systems that you have to make sure that you are not paying for systems and services or features that you don't use, and maybe find a company that has the features that you do use exclusively, and getting that at a um, more reasonable price. If you are using a bundle service for your fax and internet and things like that, it's always good every now and again to shop around to find out if there is someone who carries the same service, but just at a more reasonable price for you. So there are many opportunities for you to take a look at, or for your financial person to look at, to see if there is a place that you can um, save money. One of the places that you can start is speaking to a colleague, because I found some very good vendors that I did not know about on my own, that I started using in my business, that helped me to save some money, simply because I did not know that they existed. Simply because I did not know what features they had. And many times those services had more features that fit my needs as a small business owner than the places that I was going and paying for. Um, so with that being said, we are already halfway through the show, so we are going to stop for a break, and then we are going to come back.
Are you looking to advance your career? Your resume is the single most important factor in advancing your career. It's the best way to show you have what it takes. Introducing Venture Ready LLC. We help professionals see beyond the limits of their current circumstances. We will significantly increase your chances of landing your dream job. We offer the following: career coaching, executive coaching, interview readiness, job search strategies, career transition coaching. Get in touch with us today. Venture Ready LLC, the complete package for any career path you take.
All right, that was our sponsor, Venture Ready LLC. So if we're in a time where people are unfortunately finding themselves unemployed, being laid off, so if you need help with getting a resume that will get you an interview, then contact us and we can help you. All right, so now that we have talked about the cost savings, we are going to talk about the um, 15 small business trends to watch out for the rest of 2022. So, as we know that things change quickly and trends change quickly by the economy and everything like that, consumer behaviors based on the economy. So, the things that were popular in January, when things and prices were a little bit low, before the interest rates began to rise, could be waning or has waned at this time, as we are going into the last part of the year. We're almost in the last 3 months, pretty much, of the year, because we're almost in mid September. And so, as we get towards the holiday season, things are going to start to change as well, as far as people's spending habits. So, what you were accustomed to people spending, their discretionary budget is not as hefty as it was. We also have people who no longer have the buying power that they had with stimulus checks and things like that, which contributed to people buying during the holiday season last year. So the first thing you want to do is look for external talent to assist you. So you need to look at external talent. Um, some companies, agencies, and even manufacturing plants to conduct your business. A lot in manufacturing has changed where it's harder to get things, especially things that were manufactured overseas. It's taking longer to get those things and delivering the product to your customer. So you might want to look at local companies to try to get that. There's also been delays when it comes to using UPS and Amazon if you're delivering from somewhere far off. So you might want to try to look at local or even regional places that provide the services that you can deliver to your people. Okay, so that's something that you need to consider. And also, you have the cost savings because you might be actually saving money by actually getting things locally. Okay, you might want to consider, if you don't already have one, investing in a financial coach or a business coach like myself that can help you with your overall business structure, looking for gaps that you may have, things that you may have that is costing you money that you did not realize that you had, um, that may be hemorrhaging some finances from you. So I know that I do have experience in that. I've used that skill and honed that skill working for corporations, saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars, saving them even hundreds of millions of dollars, depending on the company, just by identifying gaps in processes, gaps where they were spending money that they did not necessarily have to spend, paying out money that they didn't necessarily have to spend, and actually getting money back from them that they from other places that they overpaid. So it would behoove you to have someone like myself or a financial coach to take a look at what's going on with your overall books and your structure. If you do not have one, you might want to um, hire an accountant. You can do these things um, freelance as needed, having them on the payroll when you need it during your tax seasons, maybe quarterly, just to take a look and make sure that your balance sheets are looking the way they are supposed to look. And then you have that professional polish and that professional eye looking at your books. Um, a big thing that is hitting us and is still um, a trend is having short form video content. So short form video content is a massive endeavor that people are making a whole lot of money on. People are bringing in a lot of clients on. So it has dominated our industry. Even now, you see more TikToks, YouTube shorts, and Instagram Reels, which gives people sound bites of things that you may be promoting, products and services. So hopping on that trend will be an extremely lucrative endeavor for yourself, possibly. So, depending on what you're doing, it would behoove you to look into having one of those platforms. I know that even with this show, even though it wouldn't be considered a short video platform, um, because this is an hour show, um, I use both Instagram and I use YouTube. I don't use TikTok right now, but I may be jumping on that as well. Um, because it is something that really gets your name out there. So even in a tough economy, you want to make sure that you are out there because people are going to still be spending in a tough economy. So they just need to be able to find you where people may have shopped around before they may not now, they might just go by the name that they see in front of them or that they trust. So this is a way for you to build trust with your people. Number 4 is please make use of the free social platforms. We have talked about that before. Um, Generating revenue through free marketing strategies through places like TikTok, Facebook, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, um, Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying not to miss the ones that I'm on so I don't make anybody mad. But because it's a free platform again where you can get your face out there, where people will be able to see what you have to offer, and you can get in front of potential investors, you can get in front of potential clients 100% free. So you would want to take advantage of those free platforms so that you can increase the profit of your business. A lot of these platforms as well even have a place for you to have a marketplace for the services that you provide, so they can actually purchase services through that actual and products through that actual platform. So that puts things at people's fingertips. So they don't necessarily have to search for your website, search for an additional platform. And you can use the same payment gateways that you were using on your website. They have a thing for you to be able to do that. So get to opening up platforms. And if you need somebody to help you manage that, again, you have some freelance people that you can have to send out your videos. You can create the content, have them schedule that out for you. Number 5 is a big one, and it's a big one for me. Is one that I was talking about even before COVID came, of how it can save you money. So that number 5 is working remotely, having your employees work remotely. You save money in so many ways. You save money on electric, heating, air conditioning, the actual building, office equipment, computers, and everything like that. You save money, um, internet costs. You save money on a whole lot of stuff when you are working remotely. And if you're hiring remotely, you can hire people from just about anywhere in the world. As long as they have an internet access, they can work for you. Um, so I've worked remotely even before I started my business. I work remotely now. I have a dedicated workspace and office that I do my work out of, um, right in the comfort of my home. You save on commuter costs. Your employees do. People have more flexibility and work life balance by working from home. We're in an economy now where employers do need to take a look at what um, their employees see as a benefit. And many employees do see working remotely as a benefit for their families, for their lives. Um, Gas prices are astronomical right now. I think it went down a little bit, but that savings can make you have a healthy, happy work environment for your employees. And when they are happy and healthy, they work better. So that is a win win. If you have people, number 6, if you have people returning to the office, you might want to try to have a flexible schedule where you have 3 days in work, 2 days out, or 2 days in and 3 days out, just to have that hybrid environment. Because the people who come into the office will still have that flexibility, just like they have for the people who work 100% remote. Um, Hybrid work and remote work is not going anywhere. It's becoming more and more popular. So it is actually a benefit to um, like adopt that. You can also save money by limiting your office space and having hotel space for the employees that come in on certain days. So then you don't have to have a whole building with a whole bunch of desks that are assigned. You can have a couple floors with hotel space where people bring in their laptops, company issued laptops, and they work from that day on a desk. Of course, you just want to make sure that you maintain a healthy environment, make sure that people wipe down the workspaces prior to leaving, and making sure that it is clean and clear. Another benefit from working from home or having a remote staff is that you do save on cleaning costs and janitorial services because you don't have a building that you're having to maintain and clean. Number seven is what we were talking about before, is supporting your employees with having a work-life balance. So as we move into the end of the year, and now that we have school have school for our children, you want to take a look at this trend because it is very um, attractive to employees to be able to have an employee first attitude because your employees are the backbone of your business. Um, if anybody says anything else, they're not telling you the truth. The employees are the backbone of the business. If you don't have employees to do the job, then you don't have a business. Depending on the business that you have, provided that you're not a solopreneur. And many solopreneurs are finding that they need help. So you want to make sure that as you start to bring on work, that you have that employee first attitude. Um, the pandemic has taught us um, that people are beginning to value their loved ones at a time where, um, we may have taken it for granted because we could just go walk down the street and see, our person or drive all the way over to the other side and see them. Being 2 years without being able to see family members face to face, people have begun to value that time with their loved ones. So, encouraging a healthy work life balance, making sure that people are not having to spend excess time past their work time so they can actually spend time with their family, making sure that they have the proper vacation time is paramount for making sure that they are happy and making sure that you are saving costs. Because what people don't realize is that it actually costs more money to hire an employee than it does to maintain the employees that you have. So, and we can that's a whole nother subject, but it actually just costs less to keep that employee happy and working and productive. Number eight is having ready-made solutions for customers. So customers today of all forms are influenced by consumer-based services and products that give them ease and convenience. Okay. Customers want solutions that are boxed and available right now, today, where they can get it. Um, Small businesses that are looking um, at the value change for a target audience and working to present themselves with a intermediated partner are gaining ground. So evaluate strategic partnerships that can deliver an entire solution for a person, not just a piece of it. That's where your partnerships come in. That's where your network comes in. Having a network of people around you that provides a varied range of services. I know I have set this up for my business where I have people who do provide certain services that I don't provide um, to give people a full package and to be able to deliver a full solution from beginning to end. So you want to take a look at that. So when people are looking to have a service, You're not saying, well, okay, I just provide this, I can provide this for you. You can let them know I can provide an entire solution from here to here from you. And the services that you have with your partners can be white label. They don't even have to know that they're working with someone else, or another company for those services. And then you would just negotiate what you negotiate for fees on the back end with your partners. And it could be it's lucrative for both sides because you're selling something that you provide, they're selling something that they provide, so they have a link to a client that they may not have been able to touch because they didn't find them, they found you, and vice versa. So it's a win-win situation. So then we go on to number 9, which is implementing machine learning tools. So this is beneficial because when you have people who are um, trying to improve their daily workflows, it's a real benefit to have a machine learning tool. It's also important when you're training your people. If you have, because when I looked at this initially, when I was researching it, the first thing I thought about was professional development and training. Having an electronic system where they have videos and they can do the training on their own time is invaluable. And you'll have people who actually get more done and get the training that they need faster by having people who provide the services in bite-sized chunks, so people can do it as part of it in their downtime from work, or they can do maybe a 15-minute training or 10-minute training, um, when the children go to sleep, and things like that. And they get a whole package that's electronic. They get their certificate or whatever, their certification, electronically. If they can choose to print it out if they want on, um, you know, um, certificate paper. But they have everything they need is something that they can post on their social media sites right away. So that they know, people know that they have this certification. So that can save you time, that can save you money in the long run because you don't have to pay for an instructor. You don't have to have your person out of the office for a 3-day training, 2-day training. Your people will be happier because they don't necessarily have to, after they get off of work, spend another 2 to 3 hours in a class. I know when I went to college and I was working, I would spend another 4 hours in a class before I even went home. So this is something that's convenient when we're talking about being, sensitive to your employees um, and their happiness and their work-life balance. Um, Number 10, you always want to do this regardless of what the economy is like, is that you want to provide quality content for your customers. So, across all sectors, most businesses are likely to get online because that's where people are. So, that's customers, that's vendors, that's investors. Um, Everyone's online. So, people want to get in front of where the people are. But when you are targeting your people, you want to make sure your platforms like your website, your social media channels, and your blogs provide data and feedback, and allow people to give you feedback. And it is relatively cost efficient. And a lot of times it is 100% free, depending on what you're using. So people like to have quality content that keeps them engaged, that's relevant for who they are and where they're going. So you want to make sure that you do that, that you are checking to see what people are needing so that you are providing that content. And then you can become the expert that people come to on your social media channel, on your website, when they need answers for specific things, when they need to get info that they need. Number 11 is prioritizing sustainability. So, again, sustainability is about being able to stay for the long haul. Can you maintain? Can you stay alive through recessions and downturns? Um, can you move gingerly through the twists and turns that may be going on, even in the industry? So you want to be able to take a look at trends um, and look at what is going on. Are you a business that can be, more eco-friendly? One of the places that you can be eco-friendly is if you do move from paper to paperless. It saves on trees, it saves on carbon emissions and all of that stuff. So you want to make sure that you are looking to be sustainable for this planet. That after you're not here and your children are here, your grandchildren are here, that they still have a planet where they can breathe oxygen on. So we see this with the plant-based industry that it is moving into fast food restaurants where they have the Beyond Burger and things like that. Um, so they have research to say that this is more eco-friendly, less carbon emissions, and yada yada yada. So what can you do to lessen your carbon footprint? It may not be in plant-based food, but it could be other places where you can save on those carbon emissions. And you will attract people who are interested in being more eco-friendly. They will buy from you because you are providing a service that they're interested in, and you're helping to save the environment. So, number 13, we kind of talked about that a little bit, but we're going to go through that a little bit more, is outsourcing professional services. And so when we say outsourcing, a lot of people think that is sending business overseas. Yes, that can be a part of it, but it's not necessarily sending business overseas per se. It's just having remote freelance workers who are contract as opposed to W-4 employees who can help you with certain services like HR, accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, and marketing. And for many people, depending on the size of your business, you can have that all rolled up into one. There are many personal assistants, virtual assistants that provide these services. And so you might be able to farm this out to one individual or um, uh, one or two individuals within an organization that is a virtual assistant agency. And it is simple and easy to do. I've utilized virtual assistants to help me with certain portions of my business, things that needed to be delegated off, which gave me more time to focus on things that was more relevant for me, which actually became very lucrative for me because I was able to bring in more business and um, set up the vision that I had for the business. So you have people who might be able to do things better than what you can do. And it will be a fraction of the cost, or do it better than somebody that you may have that may not be doing the work as well. Um, so you can save on shipping costs and things like that. So these people will be able to provide solutions for you at a reasonable price that you pay monthly every 6 months, every 3 months, every year, something like that. Um, wow, number 14 is saying hiring virtual assistants. I just talked about virtual assistants. Um, but yeah, so virtual assistants are very in high demand. If you need a virtual assistant, let me know. I can hook you up with a list of people that I know are fantabulous at their job and will help you get your business back on track and together. Um, Number 15 is creating leadership positions because you may need someone else on that executive board to help you. So, as a small business, you will become aware as your business grows the need for more leadership. So, you have people leaving their jobs. I know I have in the past because of a lack of leadership, have moved to another company that I felt like provided better leadership or would have or hoped to have better leadership. So you want to make sure that in your vision and in your plan that you have a growth plan that will include hiring in leadership that can help take and drive your business to the next level. Okay, so you want to make sure that your leadership can help set you apart from your competition as well. All right, so these are the things that will help you sustain yourself, help you save money as a business. Also, some of these tips were great for individuals as well to help them get through and get over the hump, and also help you see past the hump and recession so you can still work and manage cost effectively. Because if you're saving money, that's more money in your pocket that you can actually use in the operations of the business that you can save and have in there for a rainy day. Because just like when you're managing a home, things happen in the business that may cost you. There are um, all kinds of things that could happen to you. Um, you could have computers go down, just like you do at home. If you don't have those finances saved up, then you will not be able to um, get the equipment that you need at the time. You could have something go up in price that you were not expecting. If you don't have that cushion, you might not be able to get something out crucially that you needed to get out for your business. Because just because something goes up doesn't mean that you can immediately get another vendor to do it cheaper. That takes some work, that takes some research. So you can capital for your business. And the best way to do that is not by necessarily taking out a loan or something like that. It is being able to have finances in your business, making sure that you're spending smart, to make sure that you are not wasting resources and finances that could be already in your pocket. All right. So we are at the end of the first episode for the sixth season. We are at the top of the hour. So I do thank you so much for joining me for this episode of High Tea with me. And I'll see you next Monday at 8. Thank you for joining us for another episode of High Tea with me. To be a sponsor or a guest, contact us at info@ventureready.net. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.